Table for Two by Kitsune Ritsu, by Kitsune Risu, Kitsune Risu, Kitsune Raisu, Kitsune Raisu, Kitsune Risu, Kaitsu. Bonus chapter, Rocks, Tom and Boulder. A big old cup of peat moss bog water congealed in a glass flask, which was the perfect kind of flask to hold peat moss bog water, and no, we don't care that we just said that it was in a cup. It trickled down the side every time Tom tried to take a sip, because boulders don't normally drink, and as everyone knows, lips are an essential tool in the art of imbibing of fluids from rimmed vessels. Tom, sadly, was lipless. For he was a rock, specifically a boulder, and he was there in the cafe that day to make a great impression. Having fleed, which is now a new word, from Rarity's bosom, he coated himself in a fine layer of shale and granite and other types of rocks that I can't be arsed to check up on Wikipedia, and was once again the real rock that he was always meant to be, not some stupid, old, useless, giant diamond. I mean, heck, who wants that old thing? Rarity? Rarity can go suck it. Seriously, you know how stressful it is being a diamond in Rarity's boutique? Have you ever been a banana in a gorilla cage? At least bananas eventually get eaten, and then they're kind of done with it. Well, let me tell you, diamonds are forever, and Rarity also is forever because she got her immortality granted by the prince of the 18th level of Beknabeth, which is a region in hell specially made for the vain and slightly dumb. And Rarity is a frequent patron, let me tell you what. But actually, I love her, so please don't comment about this, okay? I don't need the stress. Tom unfolded the letter to look at it one more time. Not because it was important, not because he had forgotten what it contained, but because I have to somehow communicate the reason for this plot through exposition, since all these stories so far are pretty much in media res, which means that we gotta get creative to explain backstory, yo. And sometimes people are just too damn stupid to extract it from subtle text. But again, I love you all, I'm joking, you're all really smart, don't thumb me down or write nasty comments or I'm probably gonna cry. Having just checked the word count, the author then realized he had another 1,200 words of this nonsense to fill. So he continued on. Dearest Tom, read the letter, I am writing to you from a place very far away. From a pocket very far away. My name is Boulder, and I will be passing through your town on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment, and I wish to exchange words with you. The letter did not contain a date, or time, or any way to get into contact, so it was lucky that rocks had extra strata-ori communication. Tom knew, with all the cracks in his body, that Boulder would be there, at that time, in this weird cafe. It was a safe place. It was a private place. A place without judgment or birds. God, they hated birds. They poop everywhere, and then all the stuff happens, and... And otters! Did they mention they also hated otters? Otters pick you up, bash your face against clams, and then deposit you into the ocean where you will have to contend with sea slugs and starfish and nudibranchs crawling all over you for the rest of your life. I mean, honestly, if someone picked you up, smashed your face against a clam, and then dropped you into the ocean, that's murder. Rocks don't get no respect. Without a moment to waste, the door swung open, and Boulder rolled in. He was a smaller rock, one that could fit snugly into a vest pocket, and one who had a most fortunate life. If you saw him, you would be able to tell from his lustrous sheen and his amazing complexion. He rolled into the seat across from Tom and sat there, observing the other ponies in the cafe. Boulder turned to Tom. He said. He asked. Tom replied. Boulder sighed, leaning against his palm. It was a tough time. After a moment, he turned and looked back at his counterpart. He asked slowly, but it was the suggestion that irked Tom more than anything. Tom shouted. Tom cut him off. Boulder asked. Tom didn't have a reply. Was it fair to accuse Maud for this? It was true that one does not name a dwarf giant unless they had a rather ironic sense of humor. But maybe, just maybe, it didn't have to be something that he had to hate himself for. Tom said, finally coming to a conclusion, smashing the table into half. Tom pointed. There was only one last member of their family that could point the way to the truth. The door banged open so suddenly that it had no time to fall off its hinges. The entire frame came off in this newcomer's hand, who proceeded to lay his muscular arm across its body and smash it onto the ground with a scattering of glass and fragmented wood.
Finally!
He yelled.
The Rock has come back to the cafe!
Boulder yelled. Dwayne sauntered over to the table, staring down at the tiny little pebble.
And just who in the blue hell are you? It doesn't matter who you are!
Dwayne screamed, fusing the table back together with his aura.
If anyone's got a problem with you just because you're a tiny little jabroni jackass with a big-ass name, then you just gotta get your ass into the gym and work your candy ass until you are a Boulder! Nobody, and The Rock means nobody, should ever tell you what you can or can't do. And then one day, when your candy ass ain't so candy no more, you roll on back home. You find this Maud pie, and you take your size 13 boots, lube it up, and stick it up her...
Mr. Rock,
the owner asked, sliding up beside him.
you appear to have had time to consider...
Dwayne grabbed the owner by the throat, hefting him up onto his shoulders. With a great hoist, he turned him over onto his back, smashing him straight onto Tom's lithe frame, off which the owner bounced and flew over to the other side of the room, careening across the bar, skidding down the nicely lacquered wood, dragging down all the glassware and lamps, and ending up in a heap behind the counter.
You wanna go one-on-one with the Great One?
He pointed, raising his eyebrows spectacularly. Tom said.
Oh,
Dwayne lowered his arm.
then The Rock will have a people's coffee. No milk.
And then Scootaloo was a zombie.
Seriously though, this is the only chapter that matters.
And then Scootaloo was a zombie.
Then The Rock will have a people's coffee. No milk. No milk. One more time.
Look, Kitsune, I don't mean to tell you how to write your story, because seriously, you're doing a phenomenal job so far. But I swear, if the next chapter doesn't involve a subtle romance between King Sombra and a set of stairs, I'm going to be mad. Make it happen!